What's going on, my fellow jewelers? So today we're doing a jewelry piece I've never done ever for any of my videos. I am so excited. It's the double strand bracelet with this little cute guy in the middle. Oh my God, little, it's a big bead. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. I love this. Oh my gosh. I love the imperfection on these beads. These are real stone beads. Actually, the turquoise are real stone, and then these red ones are coral. Oh my gosh. Isn't it a gorgeous bracelet? Now it is, usually on my channel, I do really simple, easy jewelry pieces. This is probably to the medium hard, like the moderate hard and stuff. But guess what? I take you step by step. You don't have to worry. I walk you through. So by the end, you feel like a professional. That's right, because I'm not, but you can be. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I don't know if you know, but I show sneak peeks of the week on my Facebook and Instagram. And this week, I was ahead of the game and I was practicing this bracelet and I had this coral piece. So there's round beads on this, but I was showing like the oval ones. And so it looks a little different. If you saw the sneak peek, you're like, hey, that's not the same one that I saw. That's right, because I found these gorgeous red beads and I was so excited. Now you can buy the beads from me on my website. I'll talk about it at the end of the video. I know you're just dying to make this and I'm dying to show you. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, click that bell, get notifications, because I'm all about the how-tos of jewelry making. I do bead jewelry, I do resin jewelry. I got your back on both. So you and me, let's get started. So the materials and the tools are all listed in the description below. I have links beside some of them so you can check out what I have or get exactly what I have, whatever you want. But go ahead, check that out if you want to know numbers and tools and all that good stuff. Okay, let's dive right in. All right, so this week I have been practicing this. I don't usually get to, but I had time this week. And I was using these cute, oh my gosh, look at these oval. These are actually made of coral. I was using these coral beads. But then I found these puppies. Oh my goodness. And so I am going to replace the coral with this round coral, the oval coral with a round coral. And so I am going to do that. Okay, I just switched it out. And the reason I wanted to show you that, I could have just not shown you at all, but I think these coral are so gorgeous. I think the oval are gorgeous. And you could use it either way. You could do it with the round ones, you could do the oval ones. They're both in my store. So all these beads you see are on my website. You can buy them for me, you can purchase them for me. I love this. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. I love the imperfection. I think it is gorgeous. And so you make your pattern, you get what you want. Then I use two wires. I use two wires and I do them at the same time. You can cut the wires and do it. I don't like to cut wire because I feel like I always cut it wrong. I make it too short and it doesn't go well. And so I do two wires. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna string your first wire and pull it through, and then you're going to string your second wire on this side and pull it through. So let me show you in fast forward mode what I mean, and we will string these beads along. So I strung my first strand. I'm gonna put it through my big bead, and then I'm gonna string my other strand on the same side. Now you can do this any way you want. You can change up the order you do this. I am just showing you how I like to do it, and then you can go from there. I like to show you techniques, and then you do you, I be me, and we can both get along. So I am going to put this through right now, right? And I'm gonna make it so I have a lot to play with, right? I have a lot to play with. I'm gonna put this to the side, and then I'm gonna pull out my other wire. Now these are two different sizes. I am using two different sizes. You don't have to, you can use one size. I just so happen to grab the first two wires. I always have a 0.45 millimeter and a 0.3 millimeter on hand. And so they're two different sizes. Doesn't have to be. I'm not doing anything weird and crazy. I just grabbed the first two. So now I'm gonna string these beads and put it through this. So I'm gonna do that in fast forward for you. Okay, so I strung it. I'm going to put this through the big bead. I'm gonna put it through and grab it on the other side and pull it. and we're going to push it down. It doesn't need to be like exactly where, it doesn't need to be where it's going to be in the bracelet. It just, I'm just kind of bringing it down. So I have these wires. So now I have a tip of the day for you. This is a big tip of the day. When you're doing this kind of bracelet, the lengths are so important. They need to be the exact same length on both of the strands. If they're not, it will be wonky. And the problem is I am using these chip beads, and these chip beads are all different sizes. None of them look alike. They're so beautiful. They're so cute. But I had to, when I was making the pattern and when I was putting them together in my practice round, I had to make sure that they were the same length on both. When I had one strand, that these 3 of the chip beads were the same as these 3, because if the lengths were off, then it was going to look wonky. So make sure if you're using different size beads, like when you use chip beads, because chip beads are never the same size, when you're using different size beads, that you make sure that they are the same length for both sides on this bracelet. It's just so important. So now that we have these 2 sides, right, we're gonna do these 2 sides as well. Now, like I was saying, these are chip beads. Make sure that when you're putting the sides together, the 2 strands together, that this is the exact same length as this side. I'm gonna do and fast forward these 2 strands, and then we'll show you the next step. All right. So what you do, you just grab one of your strands. This is the easiest side to do. This is so easy. The other side is a bit more difficult. So you're gonna put your clamshell on. Doesn't matter where it lands, it's gonna fall down. That's fine. You care more about the crimping bead. So the crimping bead is gonna go on. I'm gonna grab my my snub nose pliers. I'm gonna put it not flush. I'm not gonna put it flush. I'm gonna have like a little bit poking out, just a little bit. And now we're going to put our clamshell up. We're gonna put our clamshell up. Now I'm gonna put some super glue. Every time I use a clamshell, I talk about super glue. It just keeps the integrity of your jewelry piece. Don't get liquid super glue, get gel super glue, because the liquid will just run right through onto your hands and you'll be stuck to the jewelry piece, which I know you don't want to happen. So we're just doing a dab right on, the crimping bead. So just a little bit, you don't do a lot or it'll just ooze out, okay? And then you're just going to crimp it right in like this. And then that was so simple, right? We're gonna do exact same thing to the other side, okay? So we're gonna fast forward through, do the other side, and then we'll get to the next step. Now that super easy step is done, we're going to push all of our beads to the one side and go to the next step. So here we go, pushing. Love this, love this. And this is one of the reasons why I haven't cut it from my spool yet, is so that I have this kind of leeway to do this. I love this technique of just leaving it, or this little tip of just leaving it on the spool to make it easier. And then we're gonna push all this pretty far down as we possibly can. Don't pull too far. If you pull too far, then this side will start to crimp up. You don't want to squeeze it, so you don't want to push it so hard that these guys start to curl. So now we're going to cut the wire. That's right, we're cutting the wire. And if you've never done this, give yourself a lot. If you've done this, then you can cut a lot less. You have a lot less right here. And now let me show you the other side. So the other side, I need my long nose pliers. For me, I need my long nose pliers, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I'm gonna grab my long nose pliers. Now I'm going to do almost the same thing, but this side is harder, okay? This side is harder. So I'm gonna let my clasp fall, right? I might cut a little bit more off. I might cut a bit more off. And now I'm going to take my crimping bead, but before I let it slide down, I'm going to grab my long nose pliers and I am going to put it in there as far down as it'll go. Do you see that? I'm gonna put it far down as it'll go, and then I'm gonna crimp it. The reason the long nose pliers is when I try to use my snub nose pliers, it doesn't get in there well enough. It can't somehow get a hold of that bead, or it crimps the bead awkwardly and it doesn't work. And so I found my long nose pliers work. If you don't have long nose pliers and you're gonna be doing this technique over and over, get you a pair of long nose pliers, because this is the only pliers that works to get this really down in there, okay? And now I'm gonna cut off, again, I'm not gonna cut flush to my crimping bead, I'm going to cut just above it, but still where it would stay in the clamshell. I'm going to cut just above it. And now I'm going to, once again, super glue. It just holds it, it keeps it together. One time I tried not doing super glue and it all fell apart. I'm like, what? Crimping bead, what are you for? What are you for? Apparently you don't like to do your job all the time. So to me, that was a sign of, I got to use super glue. Okay, I put a little too much super glue in here. We're gonna squish it. It's gonna come out a little bit, that's fine. So do you see that? It's a little bit more tricky because you have to make sure everything is, there's no gap, right? You have to make everything is squished down, not squished, but pushed down as far to this as possible, right? Same thing here. We're gonna need to make sure that it's pushed down as far as possible without making this crimp. Okay, so now we are getting to the easy part. We're going to be putting on our clasp. Now, if you've made this bracelet and you're pretty much done, you just need to put your clasp on, but you find it's just too small, you can add a little bit of chain. Look at this. You can add a little bit of chain to it, probably even less than that, like half of this, and make it an adjustable bracelet. So if you make a bracelet and you find that when you get to the clasp and you're trying to put it on, it's too small, make it adjustable. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So first I'm going to show you without the adjustable part. I'm going to just show you how to put the clasp on. So we're going to get our big jump ring. We have jump rings. These I get at Walmart. They have a pack where it's tiny or like small, medium, and large. This is the large one. I don't know the size. It doesn't give me a size on the package. It's really silly. So I put both of my clamshells through, and then I'm going to put my pliers, and I'm going to grab my other pliers, and I'm going to pull it together and bring it together. So make sure there's no gap. Make sure it's touching it like this, not like this, okay? So we're gonna do the other side, but adding the clasp to it. So now I'm gonna take my jump ring, I'm gonna put my my clamshells through like this. I'm gonna add my lobster clasp like so, right? Like so, and then I'm gonna close it up again. This plier is gonna go this way, and this plier is gonna go towards me, making sure there is no gap, right? So let's say you try it on. Let's say you try it on and it's just too small. This actually fits perfect. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, let's say it's too small and you're like, oh no, I have to redo it. No, you don't have to redo it. What you're gonna do is, I'm just gonna show you for the video real quick. I'm not gonna have it in the outro or anything. You're going to open up your jump ring. You're gonna open up your jump ring, and you are going to add your chain. You're gonna add your chain. Probably cut it in half. It doesn't need to be this long. It just needs to be a couple links, right? And this chain is big enough, the links are big enough where the Lobster Clasp goes through the links, okay? So if you ever have a problem with a small bracelet, just add a chain to it and it becomes adjustable. Don't redo the whole thing, okay? So, oh my gosh, fellow jewelers, is that not a gorgeous double strand bracelet? Oh my goodness, how cute is that? Oh my gosh, I love this bracelet. I love the colors. I love the red and turquoise and how they just pop. I don't know what it is about red and turquoise, but they make me happy. They make me so very happy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Comment, share, like. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this bracelet? Was it hard for you? Was it easy for you? How you feeling about it? If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. And I love getting back to my viewers. I love responding to your comments. Also, I have these beads for sale. I sell beads. It's a crazy story. You'll have to check out some of my other videos and find out the story. But I sell these beads. A lot of these big turquoise ones have imperfections on them, and they're real. They're the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And then the red coral. I have the oral, like mouth oral. No, I have the oval red beads, and I have these red coral beads as well. And so you can go check out my website, desbutlerjewelry.com. If you don't want the same beads as me, that's totally fine. Like, I love just showing you the techniques and tips and tricks on how to make certain pieces. And so, man, you do you, I do me, and we both get along. You know what I'm saying? I say that all the time, but it's so true. Now, it's the end of my video. You know what that means, y'all? That means I love praying for you. And some of you are like, what? She prays for people? Yes, I love Jesus with all my heart. Oh my goodness. And I want to share with you, just I'm not getting choked up. I have like a frog in my throat. I want to share with you my testimony. So I grew up in a Christian home, but we only went to church like 1 hour a week, and we didn't talk about Jesus. Didn't really, I knew a little about him, but I didn't really know him. And then I gave my life to him. It's a crazy story. I gave my life on the mission field. I'm going to have to do a testimony video about me and Jesus. And he changed my life. He changed my life. I hated myself. I despised myself. I bulimic, anorexic. I didn't like who I was, right? I just was insecure, not good enough. And Jesus just came and showed me how much he loved me and how he created me and how I was created in love. And it doesn't matter who your parents are, that God created you and loves you. And I just want to offer you to give your heart to Jesus. He is so worth it. And so when God made the world, right? Sin came into the world. That means a lot of bad stuff. That means whatever. And sin separates God and man, right? He separates us. When we sin, it separates us. And so he could not stand the idea of being separated from his creation because he loves us so much. And so he sent Jesus to die on the cross for the punishment for our sin. And so when we accept Jesus into our heart, we ask for forgiveness for the things we've done wrong in God's eyes, then he comes into our hearts and salvation. It's amazing. It's not only just like, it's not about doing right and wrong. It's about having a relationship with Jesus. So I want to offer, for those that have never given their life to Jesus, I want to offer this prayer. And for those that you had a relationship with God, but we call it backslidden, or you walked away from him, or you're doing things that God doesn't want you to do and you want to get in a right relationship with him, this prayer is for you. Okay, ready? So you're going to repeat after me. You're going to repeat. So God, thank you so much for loving me. Thank you for sending your son on the cross to die for me. I ask you to forgive me of my sin, and I am so sorry for everything I've done that is wrong in your eyes. I ask Jesus to come into my heart, and I give my life to you. I surrender it to you. In Jesus' name, amen. That simple, that good. And can I tell you, when you give your heart to Jesus, you are a new creation. Now, you still have old habits that he wants to work on you with and walk you through and heal you of. Oh my gosh, I've been working with Jesus for 20 years now, and there's still things he's healing me of, or walking me through, or hurts from like my past and stuff. But he is amazing. I mean, there is no one like my God. There is no one like him. And so, yeah, so welcome. If you gave your life to Jesus, I love it. I'm so excited. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye!